On the 19th and 20th of June, the Review of Religions hosted its first ever virtual Global God Summit with over 50 speakers from around the world. The program was packed with a varied range of presentations from documentaries to talks and masterclasses. But what was the purpose of the God Summit? Chief Editor of the Review of Religions, Amir Safir Sahib, explains.
The God Summit is basically out of the inspiration of this repeated guidance of Hazur, who basically pushed us in this direction to keep on creating ways and means to fulfill that mission for why the promised Messiah ﷺ set up this magazine. So in essence, the whole God Summit is an inspiration of Hazur's guidance to us.
Speakers address the big questions about God, such as if God exists, then why is there suffering in the world, by Imam Azhar Hanif Sahib.
So the question is not one modern just for America, but it's a question that's always been there, in fact, throughout human history. That if you say God is good, God is mercy, God is great, and has control on all things, then why this world has so much trouble?
We also had Dr. Friya Khan Sahiba speak about her talk entitled God in the Workplace.
I begin my work by writing some prayers on a piece of paper, my task book for that day, and every day obviously I have to write down things that I need to do for my patients. I start by writing Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and then I write Khuda ke fazl aur rahm ke saath. With Allah's grace and mercy, I begin. I feel that it sets my day very well, that I have begun my working day by acknowledging the fact that I am a humble being, I am powerless. It's Allah the Almighty who is the healer and who will be my guide for the day.
The summit featured real-life stories of acceptance of prayers, such as From the Jaws of Death, How God Gave Me a New Life, by Nabil Bhatti Sahib.
We had those 2 or 3 consultants who gathered together in a meeting with us to say, in their 35 years of experience, they have never seen anyone who has survived from this stage.
I did ask Hazur at one point, I said, Hazur, is there a reason, is there some sort of reasoning behind as to why this happened? And all he said was, Allah ke har kaam mein hikmat hoti hai. The subject of how the doctors had given up on me did also come up. And to that, Hazur did also say to me, and his words were, Tumne apna to dekh liya. Doctor ne tumhe maar diya tha, lekin Khuda ne kaha ki maine nahi marna.
And a documentary on the boy who lived, How My Son Was Saved by Allah, by Tahir Khalid Sahib.
I was just leaving the mosque. I'd left the mosque and I just checked my phone, and my wife's message was there that, come quickly, I'm bleeding heavily. Went to the hospital, the heartbeat was fine, but then slowly it started to drop and then it just finished. I remember I spoke to Abid Khan Sahib, who's the press secretary of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community.
He must have been 11 or 12 at night. He sent me a message, or he called me, and he mentioned that his wife had just delivered a child, but the child was in a very, very critical condition. At that point, at midnight, he said that the doctors are pressuring me for an answer. So I remember saying to him that whatever you do, don't give them an answer until you've sought the guidance of Hazur. And obviously it was so late at night, but he asked me, he said, is there any chance that you can get a message to Hazur? And so I said, I will certainly send a message requesting prayers.
The greatest importance at that time for me was Hazur should know. And if there's any way out, it's with Hazur's prayers.
I sent a message to Hazur, and Hazur prayed for the recovery of that child instantly, even though it was so late at night.
Dr. Manazar Alam Sahiba gave us an insight into her talk called The Quranic Miracles of Cosmology, Life and Legacy of a Star.
The Holy Quran repeatedly draws our attention toward the origin of the universe, the orbits of the sun, the moon, and the planets, and the numerous stars, and states that if you ponder any of them, it will undoubtedly point toward the existence of one creator.
Children's views and thoughts about God were addressed in an interactive segment with questions about the existence of God, as well as an entertaining Kids Space episode finale. We were live from studios around the world, from Ghana, UK, and USA. Listen to some of the comments from people who tuned in live to the summit.
Another comment that we received, Jazakallah for an amazing 2 days worth of nourishment for our souls that were feeling shriveled and deprived of the connection with our Creator, Provider, our source of peace. I personally had been feeling hopeless, depressed and disconnected. These 2 days have reignited a connection with the benevolent God, helping to feel unconditionally loved and hopeful. I have been reminded of all the miracles my life has been endowed with. Jazakallah for the hard work of all of MTA teams around the world.
It is strange that since the beginning of the summit yesterday, I feel like the weight in my heart has been removed, and I've been able to pray and weep in front of Allah. This program has been very timely for me as I am traveling to care for my parents and leaving my teenage kids behind. Amazing, powerful story, powerful narration. I know you've probably heard it many times by now and my thoughts are irrelevant, but there's something very special about this program. And I'm sure our beloved Huzur, Allah Ta'ala bin Nasir Razil's prayers are behind this.
A highlight of the summit was a talk by Sahibzada Mirza Waqas Ahmed Sahib addressing how Huzur inculcated belief in God in their children.
پھر حضرت صاحب اور ہماری والدہ دونوں بہت زیادہ اس بات پہ فکر مند ہوتے تھے کہ خدا تعالیٰ کے ایک ہونے کا اور خدا تعالیٰ کی توحید کے قائل بچے ہوں. تو ہمیں بچپن سے ایک سورت قرآن کریم کی بھی ہماری والدہ نے سکھائی. بلکہ ابھی کچھ عرصہ پہلے ہمارے بچوں کو بھی حضور نے فرمایا کہ جو اگلی جنریشن ہے, چھوٹے بچے ہیں, کہ ان کو سورہ اخلاص سکھائی ہے ابھی تک کہ نہیں, کیونکہ آج کل وقفے نو سلیبس میں جو سب سے چھوٹی صورت ہے وہ اس سے شاید سٹارٹ کرتے ہیں, یا اتفاق ہوا کہ سورہ کوثر سے انا اعطیناک کل کوثر جو صورت ہے وہ سکھاتے ہیں. تو سر نے فرمایا کہ نہیں, بچوں کو سب سے پہلے سورہ اخلاص سکھانی چاہیے, کہ سورہ اخلاص میں خدا تعالیٰ کے توحید کا, خدا تعالیٰ کے ایک ہونے کا اور خدا تعالیٰ کی یونٹی آف گاڈ کا جو تصور ہے وہ صورت میں اللہ تعالیٰ نے بیان کیا ہے. اور آج کل کے زمانے اور حالات کے حساب سے یہ صورت بچوں کو پہلے سکھائیں تاکہ ان کے دل میں خدا تعالیٰ کی واحد ہونے کا اور لا شریک ہونے کا تصور پیدا ہو.
Make sure to like, comment below and subscribe to our YouTube channel and other channels for the latest content.